Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue 16, Tom Taylor with C and Turmey on the art. So actually, this is one of the strongest issues Taylor's done of Superman, Son of Kal-El.
Yeah.
I quite like this for two reasons. One, you've got the general kind of superhero or Superman style thing of him like going about his day, and this is like, okay, this is all the different things he does during the day. He helps his mum at breakfast, he goes out, he goes to some children's hospitals, he deals with various crises around the world, and then he's home again. But honestly, the moment, because the issue starts with him talking about how when he was younger, especially when he's superhero and first kicked in specifically, how his father's heartbeat was this sound that he focused on to control that. And he's not heard his father's heartbeat in some time. And now we know this is technically Return of Kal-El Part 2, so we're kind of expecting it to happen. I think the moment in this issue where he clearly hears it for the first time in months and just flies off into the sky like a rocket, I think is quite touching. I think it's one of the most heartwarming things Taylor's written in this book. So I really liked it. There's other things I like him going to because the guy that he broke his arm by accident when he was saving him to apologize, and the guy's obviously happy. It's like, you saved my life. Like, the arm's healing. It's fine.
Right, but thank you for coming to me still.
Yeah.
There's a small moment with Lois where Lois is typing and her coffee keeps getting cold because Clark just used to reheat it with his heat vision. And, so she tells it to John. So then throughout, the pages with them, he's constantly reheating his coffee or her coffee. And it's this thing where he's not that he's trying to be his dad, but it's almost just like he's just such a natural. He's falling into the same kind of stuff Clark would have done.
Yeah, it's actually
just a little bit different.
He goes to confront Lex about stuff, and it's actually during that scene that he hears the heartbeat, and he goes flying off, which is a really nice moment. He's seen him because some police evidence got stolen, or something like that, and Lex is like, he's claiming he doesn't know anything about it, but he asks Mercy right after, like, oh, what was taken? And he's like, oh, that doesn't sound very good. So
it's one of the Red Sin.
Yeah, something to do with Red Sin. But yeah, there's some good little character beats here where Lex is like, oh, your father would like wait outside the window and watch from a distance, and he respected personal space, and John's like, I'm not my father. So, I don't care.
You have far less respect for personal space. The thing I love too is like, all right, so Lex has 3 plates sitting on this bench press, so like he's a really strong guy. John comes and puts his hand on the bar, and then when you see him holding it, it's bent. So that's how much force Lex was. He was still trying with a Kryptonian, pushing the weight or holding the weight on him, which I find so funny. And that's just something small in the art here that just really, really hits at who Lex Luthor is. But then he can tell that he's not lying, which I do like. But it's no,
it's not actually he can tell he's not lying. He says either he's telling the truth or he's just so comfortable with lying that it's not showing any of the usual signs of the heartbeat or anything like that.
That's right.
Which with Lex could be possible.
Well, it's also not the heartbeat where he's with Lex. It's an explosion at Riker's.
Yeah. So, I think I said he flew off because of the heartbeat. He flies off to Riker's, and basically some explosion was trying to break out Metallo. It's actually the Ultra Humanite that ends up coming out and fighting John for a little bit. Which he deals with. It's a fun enough little sequence, and obviously we know Metallo stuff's cooking because of Action Comics last issue. So we assume this was Lex trying to break him out, but we'll more on that later. But this is where he hears the heartbeat, and I love as he's flying up, and it's this great page where it's 4 vertical panels, so you really feel the height of each sort of like part of the image. And you just hear this little thump, 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 thump. It's just a little sound effect that's written in. And he's just flying up as high as he can, as fast as he can. And then the next page, you get the flying into Superman's arms. It's all very pretty. Some of the best art in the issue, for sure. And then there's a full page spread of them hugging in the sky. It's all very sweet. I think this issue was a nice balance of like him missing his father and the relief of seeing him again, but also with the burden of like being Superman. I thought was really good because sometimes the actual like details of like the plot with Gamora and Jay's mother, like sometimes the plot wasn't the best thing in the world, and that would kind of pulled it down. It kind of
override the character moments. And so here, when he hears his dad's heartbeat, it's in a moment where Ultra Humanite is calling him a freak and an alien and kind of putting these doubts into him. And so it's one of those moments where he needs his dad, and then he hears the heartbeat, and it's just there at the right time.
Yeah,
when he needs him the most.
This positive force that he needs, just comes in at the right time. No, that's really good. There's actually another sweet moment early on when he's talking about his day. He says that he spends some time with the people he loves, and like, so there's a panel with him with Jay, but there's also a panel where he's fighting alongside Damien, and that was kind of sweet as well, because he's his best friend. It's all really good stuff. So that's cool. The final page is kind of interesting. So it's whoever's stolen this LexCorp tech that was being talked about earlier, from police evidence or whatever it is. He's on a chat room basically saying, "Oh, we need to do something about this Superman. I can do something. He's not as special as he thinks." And he just sort of smiles at the end. And there's this, and I assume it's red kryptonite because there's a red glow coming from this case, and it's the way this character says, "I can make him less special," makes me think he's going to try and take his powers away.
Yeah. So with the red kryptonite, though, right? It's different than red sun radiation.
Yes.
So there's something. This is something LexCorp has worked on.
Yeah, maybe this is something that mimics red sunlight. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but if it's red kryptonite, that has, who knows what the effect of that is? It's kind of a random thing. But what if it's something that Lex has perfected in red kryptonite?
Sure.
That makes it, who knows? What I like here though too is the chat room. If you read some of these names on here and what they're saying,
Clark Kent.
Right. Lex is right. Doomsday 88, which if you know what 88 stands for on the internet, it's not good. But it's just like he led a group of terrorists into Gomorrah and overthrew the democratically elected government.
This is meant to be like 8chan losers on this chat room, so this is definitely what it's supposed to be going for.
And that's just the part with the Clark Kent guy who's like, oh yeah, he led a group of terrorists to overthrow a democratically elected government who deposed the actual democratic leader, right? So it's all about that. So just the fact that he's going after these losers like this makes me love Tom Taylor. So, but yeah, I wonder what's going on with this Red Sin dude. He's wearing green. He's got what looks like red earphones on. So he's kind of Lex X.
Yeah, they're hiding his face though, which makes me think maybe it's someone we will in some way recognize, perhaps when we actually see him. I don't know.
But I do remember Taylor saying this is John's first original villain, because Bendix, for all intents and purposes, is a Wildstorm character. So it wouldn't surprise me if this is someone wholly new.
I can see that.
Red Sin is a solid Superman villain name, just based off of nothing yet.
Yeah.
Really enjoyable.
No, I really enjoyed this issue. I think it's one of the best issues of this book that he's done. Seeing Tormey's art is pretty dependable. It's not my favorite in the world. Just little things like the faces aren't necessarily how I'd like them, but I do think the sense of motion when he's flying, I think that sequence of pages where he flies off and then eventually lands in his father's arms, I think all that stuff looks great. So the big spectacle stuff looks good. Some of the more down to earth, just drama talking heads stuff is not the best. They can't all be Greg Smallwood is basically what I'm saying. But still very good. The coloring obviously is very vibrant, as it should be in a Superman book typically. So good. What are you giving the Superman Son of Kal-El issue 16?
I'm gonna give this one an 8.5.
Yes, okay, 8.5 from me.
There we go.
There we go.